To follow a story that we told you about as breaking news on this very newscast last night. Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us at 6 on this Friday evening. I'm Doug Proffitt. The Kentucky Supreme Court has overturned the conviction of a man who's in prison for killing a 3-year-old girl and her father right here in Louisville 5 years ago, declaring there should have been a mistrial when a juror saw a witness arrested for perjury. Now, the Commonwealth's attorney late today saying this afternoon in a statement that they're going to continue to seek justice. In a statement to WHAS 11, Jarena Weathers saying, quote, "Our prosecutors will proactively pursue a conviction based on the evidence and ensure accountability. A father and his daughter should still be with us, but are not." Now tonight, WHAS 11's Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Connie Offit take a closer look at that Supreme Court decision with our legal expert.
I think the Supreme Court got it right, even though it's upsetting to the victims' families, but it would not surprise me if this case gets tried again.
Kevon Lawless was found guilty of a double homicide in 2022. Brandon Waddles and his 3-year-old daughter, Trinity Randolph, the victims. Now the Kentucky Supreme Court overturned the conviction, saying there should have been a mistrial. Louisville attorney Nick Mudd explains the court's opinion.
Because the judge commented on a key witness's credibility and the jury heard that and it tainted the jury, they could not be fair and impartial when they rendered this verdict.
Key witness Evan Ross entered a plea deal, admitting to facilitation to murder. The court's opinion states Ross testified he gave Lawless a ride to Waddles' house in the Jacobs neighborhood in 2020, but denied hearing gunshots.
Would you go to the sheriff now?
Moments after, Judge Chauvin accused Ross of perjury and he was taken into custody while TV cameras were rolling.
That was later reported by the media, which one of the jurors saw on TV. That juror, during deliberations, had mentioned that to all the other jurors.
When a judge hears that, what are their options?
In this specific case, really there was no other option than to grant a mistrial.
Judge Chauvin put in an alternate juror. Chauvin told WHAS 11 on Friday the Judicial Code of Conduct prohibits him from commenting on judicial decisions. Here he is sentencing Lawless in 2022 to life without parole.
This is the saddest thing I think I've ever been associated with.
I think the judge was trying to salvage the case and saying, look, we are at the finish line. We are at the very end. What can we do to not have to redo this all over again and have to put both families from both parties all through this whole process over again?
2 justices dissented, Mudd paraphrasing their opinion.
And in this specific instance, Mr. Lawless would have got convicted anyway. That it was harmless, that it wasn't that big of a deal, and they were stating that a mistrial is such an extreme remedy.
Now Lawless's case goes back to circuit court in Louisville. Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11, on your side.
In a statement just this afternoon, the Kentucky Attorney General, Russell Coleman, said his office would support the Commonwealth's attorney here in Jefferson County as her team continues to try to prosecute the case. Kevon Lawless, by the way, is still being held in prison tonight.